Whatever essence viewers, this is satellite media. Mr. Debunked, you are not a stranger to this country. I want to take you to Kano State.
Okay.
We understand that the dust raised by the dethronement of the Emir Baro have not settled, because since then we are seeing conflicting judgments. We are seeing the one that backed and supported the dethroned Emir, I'm talking about Baro, and we are seeing the one that supports the Sanusi himself, who of course rose through the pinnacle of his rose through the ranks and got to the pinnacle of his career as CBN governor before he became the Emir of Kano, and was later dethroned in 2019 by the former governor of Kano State. I'm talking about Ganduje, who is now the APC national chairman. But where I'm going is this: recently, Kwankwaso, who of course was the political godfather of Ganduje, and now the national leader of NNPP, that's the ruling Kano State, raised an alarm, saying that the federal government wants to declare state of emergency in Kano State. Of course, this did not come without a reply from federal government through one of the presidential spokesperson that is a fallacy. That government is not intending to do that. But the fact remains that we have two emirs, one being backed by federal forces, that is Baro, and the second one, Sanusi himself, who is being backed by the state government. Who do you think will carry the light of the day at the end of the day?
Let us be very straightforward here. This is a matter of playing politics. Let us look at it, from the perspective, of reality on ground. The people of Kano is supporting Sanusi, while the federal government is on the side of Ado Bayero. No matter how you look at it, and the reasons are not far-fetched. Ganduje felt that you need to deliver 2027, and the federal government saw Kano State as a potential ground, for that struggle. And if they happen to leave it solely on the side of Sanusi, it means that at the end of the day, APC might not see any vote in Kano come 2027. So what you are seeing there is a struggle against 2027 at the end of the day. And Sanusi understand that it was APC government that pushed him away from the throne, whether by omission or commission, no matter how you look at it, And now another government has come in, and the people of Kano, it seems to be in love with the way and manner Sanusi was brought back to the palace, and the ousted the opposition, yes, the opposition felt that no, we don't need to fold our arms. If we need to fold our arms, that's the end of us. And the president himself, Tinubu, is interested in what happened in Kano.
Is it because of their strength or their number?
But in terms of how relevant, Kano vote is to any voting result at the end of the day, So they are looking at it and say, okay, at the end of the day, we are having caliphate at war. People should not look at it that this caliphate that are at war, what does it portend to the traditional institution, and what does it portend to the citizens of Kano? It's in two things, and that is why the Igbo man is always very careful here, because Igbo man understand that for the past 104 years, they have not benefited anything from the government, and the only thing they had, that which is their strength, is their place of business, and their place of business is the target of every street uprising, whether it's coming from Yoruba, whether it's coming from the outsiders themselves. You understand? You understand that the Igbo man is the target.
Well, the benefit of
I'm coming. I want to portray something. In case the allegation made by Rabiu Kwankwaso that Boko Haram, federal government is trying to create another Boko Haram. I want you to look at it, that in the real sense of it, even though they are calling for the arrest of Kwankwaso for making that statement, that the federal government is trying to breed another Boko Haram in Kano, So he's looking at it from the broader perspective because the federal government themselves have refused to tame the Ado Bayero, knowing fully well that when Sanusi was removed from office, he moved on directly with his life.
You know the question I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Because we talk about Igbos being careful. Do you think the Igbos have a role to play in Kano ownership also?
Of course, they are major stakeholders, no matter their numbers count. And most of them, if you go to Kano, I've been to Kano very well, most of them are involved in government policies, no matter, even though they might not be significant. Because I knew when Gaduje was a deputy governor to Kwankwaso, I saw some few Igbos in Kano who were part of that cabinet. I can tell you categorically. I interacted with them and I heard they speak Hausa, they do a lot of things. You understand? But if there's any form of uprising, whether the two parties are fighting or not, the target is always the streets. And who are on the street? The Igbos are on the street.
So they're always on the receiving end.
Yes, that's the context. So that's why you say in the broader view of it, if you look at Lagos, everywhere, in other areas, we will say it looks like Igbo man is not no longer interested. Because Igbo man has not benefited anything from the government. And the business is struggled to build over the years because a target of the street hoodlums. His business is being destroyed. The Yoruba man has no stake on the street. The Hausa man has no stake on the street. You will see how the reason why Igbos are more conscious than any other tribe. It's not easy because they know these Hausas and Yorubas are the ones benefiting so much from the government. They are the ones driving Nigeria, no matter how you look at it. But whether Nigeria is making headway or not, they should be held responsible. Look at what Tinubu has done. Came from nowhere, bastardized everything, and this is where we are now. Then they expect an Igbo man to go to the street. No! What has federal government given to an Igbo man? What's it? So you can see the way the whole thing is going now. Where the North is really preparing, for a fight with Tinubu at the end of the day because they are tribalistic. The Northerners are tribalistic.
If I may ask you, Mr. Tinubu, should the Igbo populace in Kano throw their weight behind Sanusi or Bayero? Is it going to make any difference?
No, let me tell you, it's because of the nature of Nigerian politics. That's why I'm telling you that Igbo man will not want to do that, because taking side will mean creating reservations, either negative or positive.
I was asking, will it make any difference?
No, and that's what I'm telling you. They don't need to support any of them because the Igbos have never benefited anything from the government. They need to stand, on their own and look at it, from the perspective of interest first. Very important, so that those who are loyal to Ado Bayero and those who are loyal to Sanusi will not find any loophole to destroy their businesses, because this is not something that is being that has a government support. This is something built based on individual struggle.
Now, lastly on this, Mr. Tinubu, seeing that the former governor of the state, I'm talking about Kwankwaso, who leads the Kwankwaso movement, who was equally a former minister of defense, and of course he was a two-time governor of Kano State. I'm telling you all this I'm bringing his profile for us to have a background of who he is. When he speaks, he's a man who should know better. Accusing government of trying to form another Boko Haram, does it mean he's trying to blackmail government, or is something he have on good authority?
No, the crisis to breed Boko Haram is already there. It's visible. The Sanusi issue and Ado Bayero is enough to breed crisis in Kano. And those crises, because of the way they do their thing, it can be transformed from normal street protest or agitation or fight to something else. And you know that Kwankwaso has a cult-like group.
Like Kwankwaso movement.
Yes, that is Kwankwaso movement. You know, that might also leverage on that, you know, to bring about a total chaos at the end of the day. So nobody is going to rule out the influence of Kwankwaso currently now, because he have a governor and he's the national chairman of that party currently now, and he's going to use it to negotiate 2027 at the end of the day. What you're seeing there, they know how important Kano is. Kano can influence other states within her jurisdiction at the end of the day politically with just one emir. So they know how important that position is, and the federal government, instead of, you know, giving up at the end of the day, is looking at it that if they happen to lose Kano, you know, it will be difficult for them at the end of the day to build a stronger political structure that can give them victory in 2027. So what you are seeing there is not about giving back to the Kano people or protecting the traditional institution of the emirship. What you are seeing there, you know, is purely a political game ahead of 2027.
I think I must say very thank you, Mr. Tinubu'S. I think this is a good place to let you go if you permit me.
Yes, if you permit me to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tinubu'S.